So we have our first repair gig. My amazing fire friend uh, has some stuff that's well loved, and we're gonna go ahead and try and repair it. So first things first, these are the items. One is a super simple fix. A few of the other things, I've looked over them, and they're gonna need a little more love, a little more attention. Um, but I found some fabrics that I think will work well. We'll see once we get into the nitty gritty of it. Um, got all my thread, and yeah, we're gonna go for it. So I identified a lot of the pieces that are gonna need to be fixed. And honestly, I'm gonna start with the sweater because it's super simple fix. It's just the pocket that has come loose, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. Look, it's all fixed. So when I started fixing this little corner here, um, I realized that this had also come loose. And yeah, she's good as new. Yay! Alright, so excited. Alright, so I have an idea on how I'm going to fix some of these smaller holes, but I'm going to test out some stitches on this piece of fabric first, just to kind of see if what I'm thinking is actually going to work. So maybe let's try one more. So I think I figured it out. I'm going to start with this big hole. Okay, so we successfully finished two shirts, or two items. I did this mend right here and put a little patch on the inside. There we go. Okay, so I did that, and there was a couple of like smaller little just like dainty holes that I put some stabilizer, and I sewed a little bit over it just to kind of make it a little sturdier. There was one here on a pocket, and then on this. Anyways, so the next two are gonna take a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of time left today, but I'm going to, at least by the end of the day, have everything trimmed and prepped so that all I have to do is trimmed, pinned, and prepped, so that all I have to do tomorrow is sew it all together. Um, so at least for the shirt. The jeans might be a little bit of a different story. Um, but the shirt has a lot of holes and needs a lot of loving on. Let me see that. There you go. The arms and such. So I'm gonna go through, see where everything's at, get everything pinned and hopefully sorted. Um, yeah. Yeah. And hopefully I can get the pants done too. Originally for the shirt, I had this like really cool flannel. Um, but upon looking at it, it's not quite right. And most of the stuff is actually happening on this like lighter color of the shirt. And I actually think this fabric is going to work a lot better. It's almost the same color. So like, yeah, I feel like that's going to be better. So I'll have everything pinned today, and that'll be that.
So what I did was I went through and I tried to find a fabric that matched. It's really odd because where it wore off was actually all the same color. So I don't know if it's just something with that color that the wear and tear is happening or what the case is, but we use the same fabric all around and we're going to do a um, stitch on just kind of like zigzag up and down and zigzag side to side to really strengthen those areas. And then for his pants, I have some uh, fusible facing to just kind of sturdy up where the pant meets the denim material. And then he's got this leg flap right at the kneecap. Tends to happen quite often in a lot of folks' clothing. So we're gonna go ahead and fix it with that. He is really cool about the whole thing. I was like, hey man, like this is really my second project ever. Are you cool? If it's visible, do you want it to like, how do you want this to work? And he's like, I trust the process. And I was like, cool, you trust the process? I trust the process. Let's do this. So we're gonna go ahead, get this started, and hopefully that's our project for the day. Um, and I'll try and show more like process photos too. So okay, so we have now done the collar repairs. I need to stitch my ends in. Um, we've fixed the pockets and this little back hole over here and the other pocket. I did run into a slight kerfuffle with the arms. My sewing machine doesn't fit. No matter how I tried, it was going to be really awkward. So we are probably going to hand stitch these. Um, that's not the arm I was looking for. Here we go. This one's got a pretty significant hole, uh, which I thought I could stitch. I cannot. So we're going to see if we can put these bad boys on a hoop and maybe do it that way. Before I move on to that, I kind of want to touch base on the pants a little bit. We're going to iron this, clean it up, and I'm going to attach that to it. Alright, so we now have our patch on here. I found this really cool denim-y um, thread. Why can I not stop trying to focus on me? There we go. Denim thread that I'm going to try and do a mend on this with. And yeah, so we're going to do some hand stitching on these guys, the shirt, and maybe go watch a movie.
So I forgot to film an ending, so you guys are gonna hear my dogs in the background wrestling. But we have officially finished all of the mending. The 4 items are now back with my friend, and I'm now working on hemming 2 of his pants. We're not really gonna film that because, I mean, you guys know what a hem looks like. But, do you hear them? They're going crazy. Anyways, next week, I'm not really sure what we're gonna be doing, so it might be a mashup of a couple of different things. But yeah, stay tuned.